Back 11:15 now on your Friday, and as we honor those who sacrificed their lives this Memorial Day, it's important to remember the heroes who are still with us but struggling.
Absolutely. So this morning we are joined by former Navy fighter pilot Matthew Buckley to really talk about the importance of veterans and mental health issues. Thank you so much for being here with us. First off, what should we know when it comes to this issue? How prevalent is mental health among so many veterans right now, and what are some services that they may not be aware of?
Thank you for having me. Veterans' mental health is just an extremely critical part of our nation's fabric, because while we try and win wars overseas, we end up losing the battle at home many times. Unfortunately, the current metrics today, anywhere between 22 and 44 veterans take their own lives in this country every day. And at that rate, we're going to run out of veterans. And some of the services that many veterans aren't aware of that are becoming rapidly available. As a matter of fact, in a couple weeks, I'm going to be joining y'all up in Denver on June 22nd for a convention for MAPS, one of the largest psychedelic conventions, because the foundation I run, it's called the No Fallen Heroes Foundation. We actually take veterans, first responders, and their family members overseas to Costa Rica, Mexico for psychedelic-assisted therapy and healing. Because while getting veterans, service dogs or jobs or all of those type of things help heal and help the outside, we at the No Fallen Heroes Foundation want to help veterans heal what's on the inside with traumatic brain injury, a lot of the invisible wounds that veterans come home with. The No Fallen Heroes Foundation looks to support their healing with psychedelic-assisted therapy, and kind of sucks in a way that we have to actually go to another country to do this. So we're also working with legislative efforts, and I love what Colorado's doing with leading the way to start healing Americans in America, so we don't have to sneak veterans overseas for this life-saving treatment.
Yeah, Matthew, it's devastating to hear some of those statistics that you just brought up there. Absolutely devastating to hear that. What are the therapies that some vets can turn to for mental health? You mentioned a few off the top here. There are a lot of outlets, and sometimes it just takes, a veteran, if you know one in your life, getting them involved, making sure they're aware of that, making sure it's okay to ask for help. But what are some of the ways that veterans are able to cope right now?
Well, I think it's a very good point. I think one of the big things to do, we call it a buddy check, right? If you have a buddy, go out and see how they're doing. And to all the viewers right now, I love hearing when people say, thank you for your service. I'm going to beg you to do one more thing. If you say that to a veteran, thank you for your service, can you put a comma on the end of that and then say this: how are you doing? Can I help you in any way? Thanks for your service is great. Maybe put a comma and a little bit there, because the awareness that people care, it goes a long, long way. And the Biden administration did a pretty good job this week trying to destigmatize a veteran or even active duty member from putting up the bat signal and asking for help. As you said during your intro, I'm a former Navy fighter pilot, and the last thing I would do was to go ask for help to our flight surgeon or our commanding officer. Why? Because of the stigma. If you put up the bat signal and say, hey, I'm not doing too well right now, I need some help, guess what they end up doing? They take you out of the job you love. They pull me out of flying fighters. So instead of stigmatizing, asking for help, that should be encouraged. You should actually be applauded for asking for help. You all get on an airliner, what's the first thing the flight attendant says? Hey, if we lose cabin pressurization, put the mask on yourself first, because you're not going to be any good to anybody else in your row. So that's kind of the ethos we need, is to, hey, it's not bad asking for help. As a matter of fact, it's pretty brave.
Well, a powerful takeaway there. Certainly, it really is staggering to think of just how a simple question could literally change someone's life. For someone who knows a veteran who may be struggling, what direction should they point them in? How can they talk to them about this?
You bet. Well, the government, we now have a hotline, 988, right? If you're a veteran and you're not doing too good, it's 988, and you can press 1 24/7 to be able to talk to somebody or to reach out to an organization like mine, the No Fallen Heroes organization. I just got back a couple days ago from a healing retreat in Mexico, In February, we took the first 2 female fighter pilot veterans to Costa Rica for healing. So the message I want to leave veterans with right now is you are not alone. Healing is possible. I've been turned down by the VA. 15 years of jet noise. I have horrific tinnitus. And the VA manual says, hey, if you're a fighter pilot, you get a mandatory 10% disability. Me, denied. It's just so incredibly frustrating. So you're not alone if you're going through this morass of government bureaucracy. Please, if you're going to sit in the parking lot and you're sitting in your car crying, there is help available either through that hotline or, hell, you can give me a call at any time. Whiz at nofallenheroesfoundation.com. Shoot me an email. I'll be on the next plane to help you out. Healing is possible. There is a way out. I promise you.
No Fallen Heroes Foundation, such a great organization. Former Navy fighter pilot Matthew Buckley joining us this morning. We appreciate all that you do. Thanks for the great words this morning, and I appreciate you joining us here on Fox 31 Denver.
God bless you.
So
Thank you
much.
all. I appreciate it.
All right, time now 11.